If you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner making between 5 and 100K a month, but your income changes every single month, this video is for you. 1 month, you maybe close 5 to 10 clients, and the next month you close 1 to 5 clients. Some months your pipeline really looks healthy, and other months your pipeline actually starts to look a little bit more empty. You're not starting from actual zero. You have an offer, it's validated, you can actually sell your offer, and you have clients, and you also can sell. But your revenue still moves in actual spikes and waves. And that creates real pressure currently on you because you can plan properly and you can forecast confidently also for future. You don't know whether to hire, scale ads, or slow actually down. And that's the real pain. It's not low motivation. It's not lack of actual effort. It's that there is a lot of uncertainty currently happening inside of your business. And income that depends on timing instead of actual structure cannot be actually scaled. So in this video, I'm going to break down things like why revenue volatility happens in service businesses, where instability is actually coming from, the structural layers that create predictable actual income, and what needs to change if you want stable engineer growth inside of your business. This is not about working harder. It's about removing actual randomness from your actual business. And if your income still feels seasonal, reactive, or fragile, this will give you total clarity. So let's get into it. Stay till the end of this actual video because by watching this entire training, you will learn, number one, the real reason income volatility happens in service businesses. Number two, the 4-layer system that determines revenue stability. Number three, the how hidden constraints create inconsistent actual months. The difference between momentum and predictability. Number five, the revenue architecture required for 30 to 100K a month stability. And number six, how to move from reactive income to engineered actual revenue. For those who don't know me, my name is Robert Wolfman. I'm the founder of Systems for Scaling. Overall, I have been 13 years in the actual game, scaling, selling businesses. I have lost so many businesses. I have failed at so many businesses. So everything that I'm about to actually teach you and give you is totally from my own personal experiences. Also, what I want to mention, I have spent well over hundreds of thousands of dollars on actual education, mentors, coaching programs, trying, failing things. And I want to give you my personal experience all for free on actual YouTube. So subscribe to my channel, like if you really enjoyed this video as well, comment down below if you need any additional help. With that being said, let's get to it. So the core problem, revenue without actual architecture. Most founders think income feels random because the market is unstable, leads are inconsistent, and clients are unpredictable. But the truth is much simpler. Your income feels unpredictable because your revenue is not actually architected, okay? It is accumulated. There's a huge difference. So accumulated revenue comes from referrals, random content wins, occasional ads, reactive outreach, and founder energy actual spikes, okay? Architected revenue comes from consistent demand generation, controlled conversion process, defined delivery capacity, and structured feedback actual loops. Without architecture, income really feels emotional, okay? And I see this a lot of times with a lot of coach consultants and agency owners. Most of the business is actually dependent on the actual founder's energy. The more founder actually invests inside the business, the more clients they can get out of it, the more they can fulfill, and the business then can actually move forward as well. The moment that maybe, let's say, the founder burns out or starts to feel tired, the business also starts to feel tired and slowly starts to actually stop as well, okay? And this is where you need to switch that from actually being energy-driven business to actually system-driven actual business. And that's why the reason I'm telling you an architected revenue comes from consistent demand generation. That's when you have systemization around how you actually get your clients, okay? Control conversion process. You have your objection handling, your sales processes, your frameworks all in place as well. You have also all your sales stages in place, your CRMs and your lead engines, right? Define delivery capacity, all leverage systems. You also know your scorecards of each lead. You also know the risk taken with each lead actually being fulfilled, and you understand each client is different, okay? Structured feedback loop. So you actually have data that's driving actual decisions inside of your business rather than actual emotion, okay? Now, the 4-layer revenue stability framework. Every service business sits on 4 structural layers. Doesn't matter what type of business, every 4 business has this. Amazon has this, Microsoft has this, like Nike have this, every single business in the world, even your business has this, okay? And the reason some of our businesses are really weak and some are really strong is because some of these layers are working and some are not. And for businesses that are really scaling fast and have explosive growth, they have really mastered all 4 of them, okay? So layer number 1, demand stability. Ask yourself, are leads consistent every single week? or do they spike randomly? Like, do you have sometimes one month you would close 5 clients, next month 10 clients, and then suddenly the next month you maybe close 2, right? So if demand relies on referrals, random viral content, founder posting bursts, occasional ads, then income will always fluctuate. Predictability requires a primary demand engine, outbound, paid, or actual content, secondary backup channel. Okay, so that means if one channel doesn't work out, you have the second channel. And I'm going to tell you something really important that when I'm speaking with a couple of coaches, and also I think it was an agency owner that I spoke, they built their entire business on actual Google. Right? They had the click ads. They also had some YouTube ads, and I think a couple of years ago, Google started changing the algorithms really frequently, and Google changed the algorithm, and 2 of my actual clients told me that their business was totally wiped out over one night because it changed their actual algorithm. And this is why you should never depend on just one actual platform. It's like the same as you putting all your money in actual one basket. Okay, so you must have a primary demand engine, secondary backup channel, weekly measurable lead targets, and control over the actual volume. Okay, tools that will help you to do this: CRM tracking, could be Hotspot or Go High Level, lead tracking sheets, content calendar systems, and paid ad tracking dashboards. If demand isn't controlled, revenue won't be either. Okay, so layer 2, conversion predictability. Even with leads, income fluctuates if close rate is inconsistent, offers are unclear, sales conversions are really vary and are also really weak, objections aren't structured, and they're also weak. Unpredictable sales processes create unpredictable actual months. So the next thing is, after you have figured out leads, I have clients also that have figured out the leads part, but what I have not figured out is the actual conversion part. So if you currently have problem with your conversion, you should really think about the actual process of actual sale as well. You should think about what happens when the client jumps on, how do you move them through, do you have a script, or do you kind of free flow on the actual call, right? When you are closing them, do you have an actual strategy behind how you actually closing them, or is it like with each different client, you close each client differently? All of this has to be scripted. Some of the biggest objections I have received is like, hey, I don't want to use a script. Listen, even the biggest Hollywood actors, when they are scripting a movie, they're using a script. And so that means if you want to really be high performance, first you need to get really the proof behind that you actually can close consistently. And that can be only measured if you have closed for the entire year. If you have really solid closing ratio for the entire year, you can maybe take the script off because you have memorized, okay? If you have not memorized and your conversion really sucks currently, then you should not just free flow on the actual call, okay? So predictability requires defined sales stages, clear qualification criteria, scripted sales structure, close rate tracking, and objection actual mapping. If you don't know your close rate, revenue per call, or revenue per lead, you are just actually simply guessing. And guessing creates actually an anxiety, and anxiety is the reason why you're really emotional inside of your business, and most of the decisions are also driven emotionally. Layer 3, delivery capacity. This is where many founders actually ignore risk. The biggest problem I see, right? First, I just want to tell you, I see a lot of problems with layer 1, demand stability, layer 2, conversion predictability. But let's say if I look at 99% of businesses, every single one of them has the problem in exactly the same place, which is the delivery capacity. Most of businesses that come to me for help, for us, are businesses that would have delivery problems, always. They would maybe have demand conversion problems, but most of them would have also delivery problems. Most of them would have customized delivery. Each client would be fulfilled differently. Each client would receive different type of treatment. And with that being said, because it's not standardized, it's really hard to scale, and there's a lot of flaws also when you actually are customizing your fulfillment. So layer 3, delivery capacity. This is where many founders ignore risk. If delivery is fragile, you subconsciously slow sales. If you're overwhelmed, you reduce demand efforts. If team quality varies, retention drops. Income volatility often comes from delivery strength. Okay, so if your sales are also kind of slowing down because you can't deliver maybe on time, you can't deliver specifically at high actual outputs, you can't deliver in high actual impact, or the performance of the fulfillment is really changing as more clients are coming inside of your business, then you really start to have your delivery is really fragile because you can't take on more clients, okay? So stability requires documented processes, clear client onboarding. So like this is a big one. Like how do you onboard your clients? Would you have clients onboarded on the same day? Right? So some coaches, some consultants and agency owners, what they do, they would onboard during the week. Like would it be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday? One of these days, clients that are coming in, they would get fulfilled. A standardized onboarding is like when it's just, if it's like this week, then it would be, let's say, Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday gets everybody on board as well. So you systemize it rather than actually just onboarding anybody any time of the week, okay? Define KPIs for each client, escalation protocols, like what happens when this happens, what happens when that escalates, when there's a problem, like that also has to happen. Capacity forecasting as well. When delivery feels strong, you can scale confidently. When it feels fragile, revenue starts to stall as well, okay? Layer 4, feedback and decision control. This is the hidden layer. Many founders operate emotionally, okay? Like I had a call today with one of founders. She's doing kind of a good job in her business, about 100K a month. But most of her decisions are coming emotionally. And she said she feels that those decisions are being made emotionally because later on she actually suffers. And she has done that for many years. As she said, she wants to actually stop, so she needs actually the right systems to make sure that they're actually decision data driven, that they're making decisions, okay? So strong month equals confidence, weak month equals panic. And that means that you have emotional decision making. Panic creates reactive decisions. Launch something new, change an offer, maybe change a niche, increase ads suddenly, slash pricing, offer discounting, okay? That volatility compounds into instability. Instead, install weekly KPI reviews, 30-day rolling revenue tracking, leading indicators like calls booked, pipeline value, clear thresholds for actual change. Data removes the emotional swings inside of your business as well, okay? And one other thing is like what I have seen over the years is sometimes, let's say you have a client that comes in and he says, really, I want to make all decisions based on data, not emotional. And sometimes you would install them, and what happens is because they have a lack of discipline, they go back to their old ways of making decisions emotionally. But if you change, it will take time for you to actually adopt. Because if you can change and you can start making decisions based on data, you will really take your business to the next level. But what's really hard to do? It's hard to actually change. That's the hardest part. You can maybe change for a week, and then sometimes most founders go back to their old ways. So this is why it's really important that you actually adapt to the new mindset that is actually required. Okay? So that volatility compounds into instability. So instead, you need to install weekly KPI reviews so you can actually review, and then based on those weekly reviews, you can then see what needs to be changed for the next week. 30-day rolling revenue tracking. So for 30 days, you actually track your revenue, you track each lead, track each stage, leading indicators like calls booked, pipeline value, and clear thresholds for change. Okay? Because then the data will help you to remove emotional swings inside of your business. Now, momentum versus predictability. Momentum feels powerful, but it's really fragile as well. Momentum comes from bursts. Predictability comes from actual systems. So like momentum comes sometimes when you work harder, now and then, when you keep doing the same thing and you're really busy consistently, but predictability comes from actual systems. Like you can gain momentum doing the same thing, and you have like momentum going forward. But what you are really looking for is predictability inside of your business, and that comes only from systems. Many founders confuse the two. So you can have momentum without stability, but you cannot have stability without actual structure. You need to have stability inside of the business. That's number one thing. So what you need to be thinking about is how can you actually make your business unbreakable? The constraint principle. Every unpredictable month can usually be traced to one constraint. Common constraints: not enough qualified demand, weak offer positioning, low close rate, delivery bottlenecks, client churn, or founder inconsistency. Instead of asking, why is this a bad month? Ask, what is the dominant constraint inside this month? Or if you fix one constraint, stability will increase. But if you fix multiple randomly, chaos will increase. You need to understand that. When you try to focus on one thing and one thing only, and you fix that one thing, you will have much more clarity. Your stability also will increase because you will then see if that's the main thing that was actually the problem. But if you try to fix everything, you will just increase the actual chaos. So Practical implementation plan. If your income feels unstable, do this. So step 1, measure demand consistency. Track for 30 days. Leads per week, calls booked per week, and pipeline value. If variations is large, the demand system is really weak. Step 2, measure conversion predictability. Track like close rate, revenue per call, revenue per lead. If these fluctuate heavily, sales system lacks structure. Step 3, audit delivery capacity. If I doubled clients tomorrow, what would actually break? And that's your growth ceiling. If you would say, hey, if I get 5 clients tomorrow and my business would start to slowly break, well, then that's the problem. Then we need to standardize the actual delivery. Step 4, install weekly revenue review, okay? So every week, review demand metrics, conversion metrics, delivery strength, retention rate, and cash runway. Stability is created through actual rhythm. And this is the rhythm you need to follow. You need to measure each system that's currently happening. You need to stay track of each system. You need to review it weekly. You need to understand what, based on the metrics that are happening, what is breaking, what is not breaking. Because if you just say, hey, I'm not getting enough sales, you may say, hey, my sales, like I'm not getting enough leads, but maybe it's not the actual leads. Maybe it's something else. But you will never know because you're not tracking the data itself, okay? And so the reason I told you about practical implementation plan is because this will help you. All this will help you to get data, okay? So the psychological truth, unpredictable income creates stress, poor decisions, short-term thinking, burnout, and risk avoidance. So predictable income creates calm execution, strategic thinking, long-term planning, confidence, and scale readiness. So your nerve system reflects to your actual system as well. And your business also will show the reality of how you currently are feeling, okay? So like when you are, maybe your business is not getting enough sales, you start to feel stressed, you get a little bit angry, you get frustrated, and like, you know, the reason you are acting like this is because your business is currently not working, okay? Because the moment you make a lot of money and like everything changes, you can be more calm, you can think better, you kind of lower yourself down, you're more humble, you can see things that before you didn't see because you were in actual stress. So the 30 to 100K shift. At lower levels, revenue comes from actual hustle. At higher levels, revenue comes from actual architecture. If you want 100K a month consistency, you must design stability into the actual business, not chase it. That's the difference. Like when you are starting out, you can do a lot of things by energy. You can invest more energy, you can do more calls, you can do more clients, you can deliver more clients, you can deliver results to more clients, you can do everything yourself at the start when you get few clients. But after that, once you have more clients coming in and you want to scale past 100K a month, you need to start thinking about stability and how can you design systems that will give you stability but also consistency, okay? Without you investing the actual energy. So my final perspective of this, income doesn't feel unpredictable because you are unlucky. It feels unpredictable because the business is not engineered. Revenue becomes stable when demand is controlled, conversion is structured, delivery is scalable, and decisions are actually data driven, okay? All of these 4 go hand to hand in order for you to actually scale your business. So you don't eliminate volatility by working harder. You eliminate volatility by removing actual randomness from your actual business. And that's what systems actually do. So this is why I'm asking you currently to implement this inside of your business, right? So we talked about practical implementation plan. Step 1, measure demand consistency. Track for 30 days, leads per week, calls booked per week, pipeline value. Then you go into step 2, measure conversion predictability, close rate, revenue per call, revenue per lead. Step 3, audit delivery capacity. If I double clients tomorrow, what would actually break? If I triple my clients, what would break? If I quadrupled my clients, what would break? That will give you a better understanding what's currently working, what's not working. Step 4, install weekly revenue review, right? Demand metrics, conversion metrics, delivery strength, retention rate, and cash runway. All of this will help you to better understand what's happening inside of your business. We also covered the constraint principle, momentum versus predictability, and we looked also to the 4 layers revenue stability framework, okay? So now you have a better understanding what needs to happen inside of your business so you have stability and your revenue is not unpredictable anymore, okay? So if you really enjoyed this video, please like it, comment down below if you need any additional help or you have any additional questions. With that being said, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss content like this so it can actually help you to grow. And if you currently need help to analyze your systems or diagnose your systems better, we offer 100% free, nothing to sell, a diagnostic call in the link in the bio. So you can just go to the bio itself, Click the link, you can schedule. We will diagnose your entire business into the 4 systems. So the first system is demand, conversion, delivery, and then decision making. We will tell you what's working, what's actually breaking, and then how to actually fix it. With that being said, see you in my next video.